and welcome back to 30 at 6 on Cecil TV. I'm Allison Donnelly, and today is Monday, January 7th, 2019. Happy New Year, Rob.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Rob Churnside, and yes, it is 2019, and what a year it's going to be.
Yes, it is going to be a year.
I just can't wait to get into this year.
Yeah, so let's talk about the glove on your hand.
Oh, this little thing? This is, I'm in training. As you know, I participated in the ugly sweater contest, took first place. I won.
What did you win?
An even uglier sweater.
Oh, I didn't think that was possible.
Maybe I'll wear it on the show.
Please do, next year.
I'm in training now. There's an international scissors, paper, rock competition.
Not rock, paper, scissors?
That's what they do in the minor leagues.
Oh, okay.
There's other variations, but it's in Las Vegas. There's a $50,000 prize, so I'm trying to keep my hand warmed up and not, show any tells with my move. I'm practicing my moves as we speak. I'm practicing my moves.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so is it just the 3 moves, or do you add also like the bazooka?
Well, there is dynamite too, but we'll keep that under wraps. Anyway, it's going to be a good year, and I'm going to do all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. So what we were talking about our New Year's resolutions. What are yours?
Mine. What are yours?
Well, I have pledged to read more books for pleasure. I feel like I read plenty of the news, but I don't take the time to. I will often collapse in front of the TV rather than read a book, and I'd really like to read more books.
Well, I think that's great. I love to read, and many of our viewers love to read too. We have authors, as you know, in the show.
Oh yeah, all kinds of authors. Well, and we'll have a new one. Well, it's his second book. In the next month or so, he'll be
big year. 2019 is going to be the year. And my resolution was I joined the Y, so I decided to go a couple times a week.
That's great.
To work out and swim, get in the hot tub, and all that kind of stuff. There was a guy in the sauna who put some peppermint oil on the rocks the other day and opened you right up.
I feel like, could that bother your eyes? I feel like that might bother your eyes.
It's crazy. But that's my resolution, to go to the Y a couple times a week, not only just for the health benefits, but to get my money's worth.
Yeah, of course. I'd really love to hear about some of our viewers' resolutions.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
They could send them in?
They could send them in. If you're interested in sharing your resolutions with us, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or email us at info@cecil.tv, and we'd love to hear from you. And now for the news. Maryland State Police are investigating a pedestrian accident that took place early this morning in Harford County. A 22-year-old woman identified as Jadira Page Ray from Port Deposit was killed when she was struck by one and then another vehicle while attempting to cross Emerton Road from the median. Drivers of both vehicles remained at the scene, and no other injuries have been reported. Yesterday's mobile home fire on Old Elk Neck Road is under investigation as police and fire officials try to determine the cause of a blaze that killed one person and sent another by helicopter to Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center. Neighbors responding to the engulfed residence found 2 of its occupants outside, Tammy L. Lum and Constance M. Reynolds, who indicated that Lum's daughter, Tara Lum, was still inside. Smoke and flames prevented re-entry to the building, and efforts to get Lum to exit through a window were unsuccessful. It took 40 firefighters from Singerly Fire Company and other companies 30 minutes to extinguish the fire. Tammy L. Lum was treated and later released from the hospital, and the victim was taken to the medical examiner's office. And tomorrow, at the County Council Legislative Meeting, there will be a public hearing on the county executive's request to alter the existing special taxing district statute to support broadband expansion in Cecil County. The changes would permit the formation of special taxing districts in the entirety of the unincorporated portion of the county and require at least 2/3 of the property owners in the area affected to request the district. The legislative meeting is tomorrow, January 8th, 2019 at 7 p.m. in the Elk Room, located at the Cecil County Administration Building. Maryland lawmakers will convene this Wednesday for their 90-day session. Among the issues that will be prominent in this session will be raising the minimum wage, ensuring healthcare access, and maintaining money for education. Of the 188 seats in Maryland's House and Senate, 38% or 71 will be held by women. 61 of the 71 are Democrats. Overall, Democrats added 8 seats, giving them a 99-42 majority, 3 more than needed to override the governor's veto. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Charles. For 30 years, I have been practicing functional medicine and gentle chiropractic. Elkton Chiropractic Neurology is dedicated to enhancing whole body rejuvenation, whether or not you are afflicted with injury or disease. We utilize a structural, neurologic, metabolic, nutritional, and energetic approach to restoring your body to its full potential.
After coming to Dr. Charles, I'm better than I was before.
You deserve to feel good and to have an active lifestyle, so why not call Elkton Chiropractic Neurology today?
Oh no, the furnace is on the fritz again.
This time I'm calling the moon man.
Wow, he's here already?
At your service. There you go. Mission accomplished. Our house is nice and warm again. Thanks, Moon Man.
You're awesome.
You're welcome. Just go to moonairinc.com.
For out of this world service, moonairinc.com.
My name is Michael Riddick. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, and I did this, here's my gallery. It's PTSD. This gallery has been a work in progress. I've been kind of dealing with some really rough emotions lately, related to my combat and things like that. This has been a good outlet for me and let me express things that I'm not able to talk about just because they're so difficult and personal for me. So for me, the coloring process is a really big part of trying to get the expressions out. When I sit down to do a certain painting, I try to focus on that particular emotion and really channel all those different feelings into myself. And once I have the colors selected, then I go about applying to the canvas to design, have certain movements and things like that, depending on if it's something more erratic or something that I want to look more calming and peaceful. And I use different emotions to try to express those things. So it's a lot of very full body art. Things are kind of all over the place when I'm doing it.
Good evening and welcome back to 30 at 6 and to our segment Dialogue with Leadership. I'm here tonight with Dr. Alan McCarthy. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
So tomorrow evening there will be a public hearing to solicit comments on your request to the county's legislative delegation to put forth a bill to allow the county to declare a special taxation district that would not require 100% buy-in from residents. Can you talk about why you're pursuing that and what it means?
One of the reasons is we had Cecil County, being a very rural county, has at least 2,500 single-family dwellings, which are so remote that the internet providers are unwilling to provide the service. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to do is create an opportunity for them, if they so choose, to voluntarily ask the county to assist them in basically being connected to internet. The way that this would work, once these people showed up, if 6 out of 7, or actually 67% of the people in a certain jurisdiction wanted it, we would basically see what it would cost to do it. The cable provider would pay a certain amount of it, and the amount that they wouldn't pay would basically be provided by the county. Mm-hmm. And that would be added to their payroll, their real estate tax at the end of the year on a pro rata basis until it was paid off, and at which time there would be no further charge.
And why is the issue of broadband access and eliminating these dead zones in the county so important?
Well, one of the reasons is number one, information technology is important. Number two, many people nowadays work from their homes. Mm-hmm. And internet provides broadband. It basically provides internet services and interconnections with the rest of the world.
Yeah, and it seems like an important thing there's so many initiatives for moving the county forward and,
yes,
and attracting businesses. Mm-hmm. and do you think that broadband access is important for that?
Well, it's not important. It's basically absolutely positively mm-hmm. necessary. We've moved into the 21st century, and this is the way things are going to be. We can't go backwards, so what I'm trying to do is make certain that Cecil County can stay up with the rest of the state and the nation. And this is a way to do it very inexpensively. Mm-hmm. Now, there's expense to the people, but if they decide that they need it, the county is willing to step forward and provide the necessary funding so it can happen.
So that's one priority that your administration has going into the 2019 Maryland legislative session.
Okay.
Can you talk about any other issues that are important?
Well, another issue is basically we need some money to put in some infrastructure in the Bainbridge Naval Training Center. This would be for Bainbridge development to offset some of the expenses in order to bring viable companies in to set up a location there. I've asked the state governor, Larry Hogan, to provide $5.5 million for infrastructure development, which will basically assist us in developing and bringing good corporations to Bainbridge. The last but not least is basically I'm asking our delegation to authorize and permit us to have collective bargaining with the detention center staff. These would be the people that oversee all the correctional facilities, and I think it's only fair we have that collective bargaining with the Fraternal Order Police as well as emergency services. We need these detention officers, and this is a fair way to deal with them.
Okay.
So those are three primary legislative initiatives this year.
So let's talk about 2018. We've talked about 2019 legislative session, but let's look back at 2018. What would you say were some of the successes?
Well, I'm going to basically include a little bit of 2017 in it. We had basically five major initiatives, and they all pertain to the strategic plan, and one of the goals was to basically have fiscal stability. The next one was to basically have economic development. The third one would be put in infrastructure. The fourth would be education and quality of life issues. And last but not least, basically safe and secure streets. I personally feel that we've done an outstanding job on all five of those areas. Not all of them are completed, but we certainly have a very, very good start. To give you a good example concerning the fiscal stability, we balanced the county budget for the first time for 2 times in the last 2 years that has ever been done in the last 20 years. So basically that's good. We've added to our unassigned fund balance in order to basically strengthen our balance sheet. We've sent out a very clear message to businesses that we run our county in a respectful, business-like fashion. What else have we done? We basically addressed the wastewater issues, the first time that that's been tackled in over 20 years. And bond rating agencies see that as quite a strong positive. And we've also maintained our bond credit rating. Now, that's all in the fiscal stability range. So it's very important because one of the reasons these things are so important is when we go to the bond markets, if we don't have a high credit rating, we have to pay a higher interest rate.
Right.
If you have a low credit score, you pay more when you borrow for your car or whatever you want to do. So it's important for the county to have a high credit rating. The next major issue was economic development. We were able to attract a number of wonderful businesses. One of them is Amazon Fulfillment Center. That, I can't remember the exact number, but it was multiple, tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, as a matter of fact. They brought in over 1,100 jobs. They made a serious financial commitment. We brought in Lidl, which is a world-class food distributor out of Germany. We brought in True Air, Fortress Steel. These are major, major accomplishments. Nanotechnologies or clean nanotechnologies, we brought them in. So we basically are diversifying our employment base, and the great thing about that is most of these businesses require very few services but contribute a lot of money to the tax base. So we've expanded and diversified our tax base. That's a number of things with economic development. Concerning, and actually I might even add to that, is that we basically just received $20 million from the federal government to create an interchange on I-95 and Belvedere Road. And that'll basically deal with increased truck traffic from the distribution centers and the new buildings or businesses that we're putting on a Route 40 corridor. This will really be a great asset.
Well, we will have to have you back to talk about what else is going on as far as these 5 priorities that you've listed. And we look forward to talking to you next month.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoy coming here. It's a lot of fun to tell you what's going on in the county. And what we're going to do going forward, we're going to build on the base which we've already established, which is very strong and solid. And we'll continue to improve and make life better for residents of Cecil County.
Dr. Alan McCarthy, thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
The Cecil Land Trust promotes partnerships that are focused on conservation and protecting all aspects of our environment. We support farmers using sustainable practices and provide conservation initiatives like stream restoration and land preservation. Through partnership, we educate and promote the economic importance of sustainable local food production and agritourism to our region. Together, we can celebrate the gift of good land by eating locally. From organic vegetables at Flying Plow Farm and Priapi Gardens, to the grass-fed beef at Stafford Farm, the lamb at Arley Farm, Heritage Hill, and dairy products from Kilby Farms, eggs from Stoffless, and cuisine from Rumbleway Farm. We like to toast with a beer from Fire Tower Brewery, and finish with a treat from Stoffless Farm Bakery. Help us celebrate what the land provides and those who make Cecil County their home. Show us your support by buying local products, attending an event, or doing your part to protect our good land.
Welcome back to 30 at 6. The Cecil Leadership Institute is accepting applications for its 2019 class. What is the Cecil Leadership and why should you participate? Here to tell us all about it is Director of Workforce Development and Business Solutions at Cecil College, Tom Lofland. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And before we begin, I should fully disclose that I'm a proud member of the CLI class of 2017, so I am a little bit biased.
Congratulations.
So how would you describe the Cecil Leadership Institute to someone who'd never heard of it?
I describe the Cecil Leadership Institute as a format for folks that who are current leaders and emerging leaders, and taking them down the pathway of the history of Cecil County. We touch on items such as leadership quality, what constitutes good leadership. And we also like to have expose them to different leadership styles. But along with the leadership style is knowing the history of Cecil County and knowing what economic engines are out there that really drive the county and make our county grow. And we actually go out to different companies, different places, and get to view the companies in operation. Most of our visits, we're lucky enough that they'll allow us to kind of get the back room, if you will,
right,
and see how the business actually operates and what leadership style makes that particular business successful.
So give some examples. What kinds of things do participants get to see and do?
We'll take W.L. Gore.
That's a great example.
And W.L. Gore, very kind to us. They've really supported us over the years. And what we do is we go out to the Gore plant off of Appleton Road, and we get to listen to some of the plant manager and some of the leaders of W.L. Gore and what their leadership style is. And it's leadership and the corporate culture is something that's very, very important to them.
Yeah.
And we get to actually go through, see how different items are made, the waterproof boots, the waterproof suits. They're even kind enough, they take us into
the rain room.
In the rain room.
Right.
And that's an experience if you've never done that before.
Yeah.
The other year we had probably had about 12 people in the rain room at one time. But it's amazing how you put on all that gear, you come out, and you're completely dry.
Yeah, yeah. It literally is a room that it's a small, 12 by 12 space, and you volunteers put on whatever Gore gear they have available, and they're all bundled up, and they go into this room, and it's pouring rain, and it's a really fun field trip that day.
And it is.
And why is the Cecil Leadership Institute, and particularly for participants to learn both about leadership styles and about the various organizations that make Cecil County run. Why is that important for Cecil County, that people are learning about this?
Well, I think that you know, it's a give and take process. That you know, being a good leader, you know, constitutes a vision that you might have, and learning those visions and knowing that those visions are going to mesh well with the company and the folks that live and work in the community. Mm-hmm. And it really, it plays into economic growth, not only for the businesses, but for the people that live and work in Cecil County. Mm-hmm. And so I think that is really paramount in your mind, and well, in all of our minds, that, you know, what constitutes a good leader is one leadership style might be good for one business, but not another business.
Right. So what is the time commitment?
Time commitment, Allison, is this year we're going to start on February the 14th. We will meet on Thursdays, and it'll be every Thursday through May 23rd. Mm-hmm. Graduation will be completed on May 23rd. Okay. Some days are half days, usually from anywhere from 8:30 till noon. There'll be some days that where we'll go out and we might not finish up till 2 o'clock mm-hmm. in the afternoon. And it is a time commitment, but yeah. At the end of the day, I think that it's time well used away from work.
I think that though it is a time commitment and there is a cost, it seemed to me that there were a lot of organizations, businesses in the county that felt that Cecil Leadership Institute was an investment in their workforce.
That's correct.
So that my point was to get to that there is a cost, but that
absolutely
organizations will.
And I think that it's really, when you say there's a cost, but you know, we look at it as an investment. It's an investment in the people that are working for that company to when they finish up and they graduate, hopefully they've come away with some ideas and some tools that will help them enhance the business that they're mm-hmm. working for.
So how do people sign up?
People sign up. You can stop by our Elkton station and sign up there. You can go out to our Facebook page. You can sign up at our Facebook page. Also, you can go out to My Cecil and sign up there. If anybody has any questions, they feel free to contact me. Be happy to email an application and a brochure out to you. And so it's pretty easy to get out and sign up. If you have any difficulties, I'd ask to please get in contact with me.
And just one more question.
Sure.
Who is the target participant? So if someone is watching 30 at 6 and this interview and wondering if this program is right for them, what kind of person do you think is a good candidate?
I'll answer you in two ways. I think that any emerging leader mm-hmm. or current leader.
Okay.
But what comprises our classes, we have folks that work for the Board of Education.
Oh yeah.
We have folks that we have folks that work for nonprofits. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of nonprofits in our classes. People who work for Cecil County government attend our classes. So we have a whole mix of people. And, you say, what's the right target? But and I say emerging leaders and current leaders, but anybody that's really has an interest in enhancing their management / leadership style, mm-hmm. and anybody who really has an interest in the businesses that operate here in Cecil County and what type of impact these businesses have, on the county.
Great. Director of Workforce Development and Business Solutions at Cecil College, Tom Lofland. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Allison.
Our local churches play an important role in the social framework that forms and strengthens our community. From time to time, Cecil TV will pay a visit to one of these churches to learn about the unique ways they are meeting the needs of their members and reaching out to others. We visited Janes United Methodist Church in Rising Sun to experience their Discover Depth program, a monthly event designed to both uplift and inform participants of the spiritual relevance of pressing topics people face today.
Hi, my name is Erica Burge, and I am the host of Discover Depth. We are a monthly service that meets at Janes United Methodist Church at 6:30 p.m. We discuss different topics in an interview-style format, such as homelessness. This month we discussed environmental issues, and next month we're discussing racial relations in the new Jim Crow. We would love to have people come join us, those that are seeking something deeper in their faith, those that aren't even sure if they want to be a part of the church. And we're just trying to have a conversation, trying to find God in a world that sometimes seems broken and helpless. And we believe that through community and through Christ, we can make it through this world. And ever since Discover Depth began, I have been wanting to have the conversation on the environment. And the reason is because as I began to journey towards environmental stewardship, I found that it brought me a lot closer to God. And so I'm excited to share that story in hopes that the same will happen for you. And Carlos, you had said too about now that you have this newfound appreciation for nature, that it has given you a newfound appreciation for God too. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's kind of in the same boat as Katie. I mean, I've always been the kid that, likes to go outside and get dirty. Come home and get yelled at for playing in the mud or something. Yeah. But yeah, again, I would say I feel pretty close to God too when I'm out in nature and taking in everything that He's created. I mean, when I took a second to look and just look at the trees and the flowers and the grass and the dirt and the animals and all of that, it's like our Father made that. And everything is like the little intricate details are just pretty fascinating when you really get to look into them.
What do you guys think is like the most pressing environmental issue that we're facing right now?
Well, for me, it's first and foremost climate change. We know that we have observed a definite change in not only the Earth's atmosphere, but the content of our oceans right now. And there is significant evidence that suggests it is because of increased burning of fossil fuels. So climate change is kind of hard to understand, but it touches almost everything you can think of.
Okay, so how does your faith inform your work?
For me, at least, in the career that I'm trying to form, hopefully, I really want to do a lot of work with climate change, and I view that as not only caring for this earth and caring for all the amazing species that the Lord has put on it, but in caring for my fellow humans and each other. I think that at least I know that when I go out and spend some time in the woods, or if you're from Phoenix, the desert, I'm always a much better person afterwards.